So, we finally got our first trailer for Ghostbusters Afterlife. Yeah, this looks pretty cool, but here's my thing. I feel like Jason, the studio was like, okay, how much Stranger Things can we make this trailer look like, and possibly this whole movie look like? And Jason Reitman went, yes. Because really, it also doesn't help that Finn Wolfhard looks like he's going to be the main character of this story. So yeah, you cannot help but pull, a little bit of Stranger Things in here. But anyway, the trailer looked good, don't get me wrong, the trailer looked good, and yeah, I mean, it does feel like it does have that Stranger Things feel, but at the same time, it has, that little bit of, a little extra horror to it, and I like that. I mean, Ghostbusters at its core is a horror comedy. That's what it's always been. People just seem to forget that Ghostbusters is people just remember it as a comedy, and it's a good comedy. Don't get me wrong, but it was initially billed as a horror comedy. So yeah, I like to see that there's a bit of a horror element to it, and I like that. Also, it looks like that Finn Wolfhard's character and that character's sister are the grandchildren to Egon, and I like that. I like that we're focusing a lot on Egon in here because obviously, sadly, the actor had passed away a few years before this movie was made. This also, weirdly enough, does have a feel of Force Awakens in the sense that it's a new generation picking up the pieces of the old generation, and that's cool. Not only is it Stranger Things, but also has that Force Awakens theme. And also, I'm kind of waiting for the next trailer till Bill Murray comes in with Dan Aykroyd, and the two of them look around at the Ecto-1 and be like, Ray, we're home. And Ray just goes, yeah. Damn it, I want that, and it's never gonna happen, but I want that now. Damn it, I hype myself up. Anyway, Paul Rudd is in here, and he's playing the kid's teacher, and I like that they're how Paul Rudd's being used in here as he's the cool, fun teacher, but he knows his shit, and I like that. And I kind of dig where this storyline is going. Is that Ghostbusters happened. There were ghosts. It's not like in Ghostbusters 2 where everyone thought it was a hoax. Can we just talk about that for a second? Can we fucking talk about that for a second? I hate that. Everyone just decided in Ghostbusters 2 that it was all a hoax, even though there was a giant fucking marshmallow man coming down Main Street. The apocalypse was happening. There is no way you could fake that, especially in the 80s. There was no way you could fake that with just four guys who could barely have a budget. What the good fuck? Anyway, so I'm actually glad in this movie, it looks like this movie actually acknowledges that, yeah, there were fucking ghosts in New York. It wasn't a hoax. This shit actually happened. But it seems like ghosts have kind of gone away. Something has happened, but this new town we're living in, this is taking place in, looks like it's a hot spot for supernatural activity. And that's pretty cool. There's these, it would make sense that they're, it probably builds up, and I remember them talking about this in one of the Ghostbusters cartoons. Actually, I think they've referenced it both in the real Ghostbusters and the Extreme Ghostbusters, where essentially what happens is that there are these, ley lines in the supernatural world, and there are, little gateways for ghosts to pass in and out of, and sometimes they're hot spots. So, yeah, I think that's probably what we're doing here. I wouldn't be surprised if that is the case. This little town is on top of a supernatural ley line, so that'd be cool for them to reference. Anywho, I would also say that I'm kind of wondering how we're going to have the other Ghostbusters play in here. Because we do know that, Bill Murray and the rest of the cast is going to be a part of this movie. But much like in Force Awakens, we don't know how much of a capacity they are. In fact, we don't even see them in this first trailer. You would think that in this first trailer they would be like, oh, it's motherfucking Bill Murray, or oh, it's motherfucking Dan Aykroyd. But no, we don't get that at all. Yeah, and it's that's very much like the Force Awakens trailer, where, oh yeah, you saw the Millennium Falcon, but did you see Luke or Han? No, you didn't see them until, you didn't see Chewie and Han until the next trailer. So yeah, you saw Ecto 1, but you didn't see, you didn't see any of the, you didn't see any other Ghostbusters. So yeah, trailer, the more I think about it, is following the cues of the Force Awakens trailers. So yeah, it's very much following those cues. Anyway, so I liked it. It is a little bit Stranger Things, but you can't help but think that without thinking, because, you know, Finn Wolfhard is in here, so you can't help but think that because he's here. But I still have hope for this. I'm very much looking forward to Ghostbusters Afterlife. It's probably one of the movies I'm most looking forward to because of how, you know, how it feels like so different from other Ghostbusters movie, but it still seems like it's going to have that same heart to it. Jason Reitman, of course, the son of Ivan Reitman, is going to be doing this movie. I don't know Jason Reitman's whole filmography. I know he's a director. I do know that he has directed before, but I don't know his whole filmography, so I can't say that he's the perfect pick. I mean, just because you're the son of the guy who directed the first movie doesn't mean anything. You have to be as good a director as your dad was. And yeah, I think we can all agree that we're all kind of we're all, tentatively excited for this movie, because, yeah, first off, it's still Sony, make no mistake, it's still Sony who has this. Plus, the last Ghostbusters movie wasn't that great either. And just because you have all the classic actors coming back doesn't mean anything. You need a good story. And I'm not saying, oh, DPZ, you didn't like the 2016 movie because it was all women. No, I watched it. I legit watched it. And the cast was good, but the problem is, it's so unfunny. It's so unfunny, and the effects are so bad. That movie itself is just not funny. That movie was just not good. It wasn't because of the cast. Honestly, if you had given that cast a better script and a better budget, then I think you would have had something. Hell, that's a perfect proof, because a few months later, IDW came out with a comic that focused on the all-women cast from Ghostbusters, and it was good. It was an actually good thing. This proves that if you give the right script to something, it's good. But you didn't get that in the 2016 movie. That's why I didn't like it. I didn't like it, not because it's an all-women cast, because, yeah, it doesn't matter if it's a male or male cast. What matters is if the movie is fucking good. Which it wasn't. Anyway. So, and honestly, IDW, going back to them real quick, they've done actually a lot cooler and better things with the all-female cast from the 2016 movie in the comics. So yeah, those characters work, but you have to know how to use better people who know how to write better, have figured out how to use them better. I'm sorry, I'm a little out of it. I took some medication for a sore throat, and I think it's fucking with me or something. I don't know. But anyway, I'm stumbling through my words. I apologize for that. Anyway, so you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think of Ghostbusters Afterlife? Do you guys like it, hate it? Comment below, let me know. And once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I'm out.